What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Pullback Effect. So we're gonna go ahead and review the analysis from last week, and I'm going to pretty much be analyzing the same pair since they're the same ones that were requested this week. All except for corn. Corn wasn't suggested this week, so I'm gonna just change corn for gold. Okay, since gold was also suggested this week and last week, and we did not do an analysis on that last week. Okay, so let's go ahead and review the analysis from last week from the same pairs, and we'll also go through the analysis for this coming week. Okay, so we have Euro USD here. As you guys can see, we had opened above here last week. We mentioned that we wanted to see the highs being taken out. Unfortunately, we did not see that. We did call a little bounce here, which, I mean, it was a minor bounce, but it did not want to go above the highs anymore. So that was already giving signs that this market was going to be bearish. And I did mention that if we close below this down candle here, or this overall consolidation, that I would change my bias from bullish to bearish, right? So we could see that we, in fact, did close below it. We traded right back up only for a retracement, right, from high to low. We got about the 71% retracement there for an entry. And we kept on trading lower and lower. So although we were wrong, we were able to identify when would be wrong and when we could change bias and look for the opposite direction to unfold. So now going on for this week's analysis, we have Euro USD. If we go down to the 1 hour time frame, we had a big run up here, which pretty much took out buy side liquidity. So I might want to see it head down for these lows here for a target, and we will see if it also ends up taking out this low in here. Okay, so I'll have downside objectives for Euro USD. If we do come up above this high here and consolidate around there, then it's most likely going to start breaking up to the upside and looking for the buy side liquidity. Okay, so for us to remain bullish, we don't want to see this high to be violated. Okay, so let's go and jump on to GPUSD now. So GPUSD, pretty much the same thing. I mentioned that we might see a small little bounce in here, which we did. Also called that if we close below this consolidation here, we're most likely going to head down and attack these lows here, which we did this week. If you guys follow my Instagram, you've probably seen that I took a sell right on Friday, right around this area in here. And I also called that we were going to be attacking this liquidity. So basically, that was going to be my analysis for yesterday. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to upload the video yesterday, so I had to do it today. And today on Monday, we actually already attacked those equal lows there. So there isn't much to say about GU since the objectives had already been met. But we could still see some more downside and possibly take out this low down here, right? I will be watching this level though, the 36.45 level, because we might be able to consolidate in here. And if we consolidate, probably also post some equal lows in here and then come down to take out those equal lows while hitting this level and reversing. That could be an intermediate term low, and we might start searching for the upside objectives, right? But for now, I want to follow the same trend, or for the speak, and see if we could actually dig deeper into this low, but also expecting that we might see a bounce in here depending on the price action that we might see today, okay, on Tuesday. Like I said, it's very possible for just consolidation and then coming down to take out equal lows. If we form any type of equal lows, hitting this level and then reversing, then we could see watch to see the market attack these highs in here, possibly these highs here that look really clean. So that's going to be the analysis for GPUSD. Let's go with AUD USD. USD is pretty much the same thing. They're all major pairs with the US dollar as the core currency, so it's pretty much the same thing. We saw the same thing on all three pairs here. And we saw that we did make a higher high on AUD USD, but failed to take out this high here. Started trading down. I forgot what was the indication last week for me to shift to bearish, but I believe it was if we took out this consolidation here, I would change my bias to bearish, which it did. I came back up, test on this consolidation here with this wick, and started trading down aggressively once more. Monday also, we saw some bearish moves on Monday or today. So we might still see a continuation to the downside. And I'm really looking to see this area in here to see if we trade into that, right? Trading into the lows of 72.15 around that area, and possibly testing this consolidation in here as well. So I'd be pretty bearish still with AUD USD after we shift market structure. And if we do see any upside, I want to see at the most this consolidation remain intact. If we start trading through that consolidation, then we're most likely going to shift to the bullish side and start attacking these highs, and then we'll come back to the idea into closing this imbalance that we have in here. Okay, so those are the three major pairs that we looked at last week. We also looked at GPAUD, which GPAUD, we did see what I was expecting. We gapped up, we came down in the gap, and I said that that should act as resistance, which we did around the whole week. I mean, last week was a really ugly week since we mainly just consolidated, but we did see some upside on GPAUD, right? We hit our first level here, which is the high over here on the left side that we see right there. We still have this area for objectives on the upside to see GPAUD reach. So we could still reach that this week. If we end up closing below these lows, below this consolidation here, then we might shift to a bearish structure and might see this low being taken out and probably these equals getting attacked as well. But for now, I'd still want to see some bullishness, although we could reverse. So just be careful with this market. I mean, we're still kind of in a consolidation. It's not really moving, but I would like to see the 1.88 big figure level up here to be tapped. Although we could see a reversal, like I mentioned, since we already did take it a high. But since I did not see that much down movement, I would still expect these objectives to meet, right? Unless if then again we break market structure by taking out this low here. Okay, so now if we go out to the last currency that we analyzed last week, we'll go ahead and go to the corn futures market. And we could see how this trade panned out perfectly. I talked about possibly opening with the gap up, which we did in here, which is this little rectangle. It's what's delineating the gap up that we had. You probably might not see that gap that clear right now. You would really need to have your eye trained to look at this price action and notice the gap there. But if we dropped into a lower time frame, I think on the 1 minute would give us what we want to see for a gap, right? So let's go to the 1 minute into that area so I can show you guys which gap I'm talking about. So here you can see how this candle closed right there, and we gapped up with an open, right? So I mentioned if we would gap up with an open, we might be able to see some downside at first to see some resistance there, and then see price start moving to the upside, which we did, right? And then again, we see that, I believe it was on the Tuesday, we came back down to test that gap, which is this rectangle here. So that would have gave us another buying opportunity by placing our stop below this low, entering right there, and taking it to the objectives that I mentioned last week, which was pretty much the gap that we had seen up above here, above price action, right? So that was a really good trade for corn futures. So now let's go ahead and review gold. Okay, since gold is another currency that you guys wanted to see, or a commodity that you want me to analyze. Um, for gold, I was expecting some downside objectives to be met this week, which we did right here. I was expecting pretty much some downside for the week and possibly attacking these lows, which we did today on Monday. We only took out this low, but had this low remained intact, which I mean, I would have liked to see it come down and raid that as well. But unfortunately, we didn't. We actually just took this low and saw some expansion to the upside. So that could be all for the downside this week on gold. And we might start seeing some upside objectives, uh, which I think I had on a different chart here. Probably lost them. But we might see some upside objectives, probably taking out this high here and possibly testing the low that we have here. So 1844.80. Let's round that down to 1844.80. That's pretty much the upside objective that I want to see on gold, right? Since my downside pretty much already got cleared. We might see gold trade up from here, taking out this high and these equal highs. We want to pay close attention when it comes inside of this consolidation, right? Because if we come up, I want to see it break the 1821.80 level. 1821.80 level. We want to see that break, right? We start seeing some resistance in there, then we might actually have topped and we might look to see this consolidation be taken out, or the lows on this whole consolidation here be taken out. So just take that in mind. I do believe we might have reversed here, but if we do find some resistance at 1821.80, we might see some downside objectives still by taking out these equal lows on gold. But if we do get above this high, then I would be really, really bullish and would definitely want to see these highs be taken out and possibly test the 1844.80 level as well. Okay. So with that said, that's all for the analysis for today. We'll go ahead and come back to them next week and see how well we did on the analysis. And if you want to suggest any pair that you want me to look at, just make sure to go ahead and comment on Telegram or Instagram every time I ask for the pairs that you guys would want me to review, which is mostly on every Sunday, right before markets open, so that way I could analyze the market once they open and post the video on YouTube. So hope you guys have a great day and wish you the best for the rest of the trading week.